Welcome everyone to the super full fresh blood moon in Sagittarius, which is happening on the 26th of May. So first of all, I'm just going to bless my cards. So dear angels, saints and spirits from the divine white light, please bless my cards and give me clear insight. So may it be. So this is going to be quite the super full moon. So let's just break it down a little bit. So this is going to be an intuitive energy and tarot reading for the super full fresh blood moon in Sagittarius. So the moon takes place on the 26th at 5 degrees. It should be visible in Australia, New Zealand, Western US, South America and Southeast Asia. So basically a full moon happens when the sun is opposite the moon. So the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Sagittarius. So it is a super moon because it is closest to the earth. So that's what makes it a super moon. It's called a flower moon in the northern hemisphere due to the spring flowers blooming. And they also call it a blood moon, and I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so they call it a fresh moon in the southern hemisphere due to weather turning fresh, which kind of makes sense. And that's by Yasmin, Boland. So she's the one who actually came up with naming the moons in the southern hemisphere. So what makes this blood moon relatively a rare event is that it only happens during a lunar eclipse. So the moon passes through the Earth's shadow and the sunlight is blocked from illuminating it. So any blue light that filters through the Earth's atmosphere casts a red shadow on the face of the moon. This process only lasts a couple of hours, but the reddest point will only last for about 14 minutes, from about 9 to 11 past 9 in Australia, if you're in Australia. So if you can, pop out and have a look at that if you can. So I think it'll be pretty spectacular because you will actually see the moon turning red. So that makes it pretty special. So I think a couple last happened a couple of years ago. And this is the first of the 4 eclipses for this year as well. So I'm just going to talk about the eclipse because there is a lot of aspects that we need to talk about as well. Like I said, it is quite a super full moon. So we're going to get into that and then I'll get into the tarot. So I've pulled that for the moment. So eclipses in general bring about transformational changes, okay? And this one will be absolutely no exception. So the job of an eclipse is to show you the truth of a situation through illumination. So eclipses represent portals that put us where we need to be in order to elevate us into a higher state of consciousness. The South Node is in Sagittarius, so therefore transformational change will likely take place with past philosophical, spiritual and religious beliefs that are outdated and need to be released, because Sagittarius rules those kind of belief systems. It's all about the truth seeker. But it also rules religions and things like that as well, and spiritual and obviously philosophical beliefs. So major themes relating to this full moon will be in relation to morals and ethics. So what things that you might have believed in the past, things might actually be changing. Okay, so this full moon is all about change. And it is about transformational change, always. So where in your life have your old beliefs been holding you back? So, and it's all about freedom as well. Sagittarius is all about freedom. It's freedom loving. So it wants to be free of certain constraints. So where are old beliefs holding you back? So how can I get more freedom in my life? These are questions that you should be asking yourself during this full moon, because it is, like I said, it's going to be so powerful. So anything that you do come up with and that you do want to implement, the change that you want to implement are likely to stay for a while anyway, for the next couple of decades even, I think. So like I said, the timelines are really shifting and switching, and this is giving us an opportunity to really switch tracks, like if that's what we really want to do, completely, you know, and go in a completely different direction if that's what we feel we need to be doing. And this will be the perfect time to be able to see that as well. So for a more personalised interpretation of exactly where this will be happening for you, have a look at your birth chart and find out where your rising sign is and how to affect you. So for people that are Saggies, obviously, it's in their first house, Cap's in the 12th, Aquarius is in the 11th, Pisces in the 10th, Aries in the 9th, Taurus in the 8th, Gemini in the 7th, Cancer in the 6th, Leo in the 5th, Virgo in the 4th, Libra in the 3rd, and Scorpio in the 2nd. So if you have a look at those houses and what themes they are, then you can get even more idea into what kind of belief systems that you are really going to have to get rid of, like, you know, and you need to do it willingly. Otherwise, this is the kind of energy that we're being presented an opportunity to try and change it ourselves. And if we don't, the universe will do it for us. And that's what eclipses do. So, so full moons are a great time to release, let go and forgive. So especially to make space for new beliefs that will benefit us more in the present moment, as well as helping us find our own truth so that we can become our true, authentic selves. Anyone who resists this change will find this eclipse especially challenging. And the most people, like the signs that are going to find it most difficult are going to be the fixed signs. And because most of the planets are in mutable signs, mutable is flexible. So it is all about being flexible and being open to change, and less resistant you are to change happening. That's what I'm saying. This eclipse will affect you the hardest. So that's why it is good to know that, you know, you really do need to try and release a lot of these beliefs that we've got, and this is the perfect opportunity to do it now. So trust what falls away from your life around the time of this eclipse is a direct message from the universe that it's time to let it go. So try not to take life so seriously. Immerse yourself into the freedom-loving Sagittarius energy of having fun, being adventurous, curious, and optimistic. So that's the, you know, we need to get into the higher vibration of Sagittarius, which is all those kind of qualities as well. So really important to focus on that. So now we'll go into some of the aspects. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about with this full moon. So Mercury conjuncts Venus, so which is really signaling a time to speak from the heart, use compassion, and to come from a place of love and not fear. So Mercury is also stationary at the moment. So as we know with Mercury, it's getting ready to go into its retrograde motion, and we all know what Mercury retrogrades are like. So like I said, back up anything electronical. It's not a good time to make big purchases as well, especially electronical purchases, because they're likely to have a fault in it or something in it. Something will be wrong with it. So Mercury retrograde isn't a great time to be doing those kind of things. And this one's going to be a doozy as well, because again, it's most of the planets as well are in their home signs as well, and Mercury is in its home sign, of Gemini, which is squaring Neptune. So this aspect will distort thinking and complicates discussions by increasing confusion, deception, and insecurity, which will lead to misunderstandings. So it's really important during this period to listen carefully and to speak in simple, clear terms. Be careful speaking your mind, which is really hard for Sagittarians to do. Remember to use your filter. Keep the truth arrows in your quill. Oh, I've got to put them in my quill. Avoid saying too much or over-exaggerating. That's one thing Sagittarians do as well. We love to exaggerate, being planet ruled by the planet Jupiter as well, which is a planet of expansion. We like to make the stories a little bit bigger so people are a bit more interested and we get more of a bigger reaction. Anyway, so Gemini is all about information gathering, and we are going to be overloaded with information, whereas Sagittarius is more about finding meaning from the information. So try not to get too overwhelmed by the overload of new information that is going to be coming up during this time period. Use your intuition and discernment. And know as well that you do not have all the information, the vital bits of information that you need, because again, this is just, it is a lunation. It's not the sun, it's not a solar eclipse. A solar eclipse will really, you know, bring things, there's no hiding from that. Whereas this, it's still in the darkness, you know. Yes, it's illuminating, it's shining a lot of light on a lot of aspects that have been in the shadows for a long time. So yeah, this is what is going to be helping us to transform these beliefs. So Venus is also squaring Neptune, giving a heightened need for tenderness. However, with this aspect, it's likely to over-idealize. So this may form a distorted image which may lead to disappointment or being taken advantage of. So be really careful of things that look too good to be true. They probably are. So again, with scammers, things like that, you know, pyramid schemes, yeah, people trying to scam you, that kind of thing is very heightened during this period of time as well. So be careful with that. Also with meeting new people as well, you might think, oh, they're fantastic because you've already got this image in your mind. But when after this aspect is gone, you actually look at them again and go, wow, that's not what I saw at all. So it is a very distorted image that can be that we can actually form in our minds. So Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter, which has just gone into his other home sign of Pisces. So another sign that doesn't like boundaries. So don't believe everything you hear this week or see as well. Again, due to that exaggeration, no boundaries, that expansion. So things will be over-exaggerated somewhat and distorted as well, because it is in the sign of Pisces. So yeah, so the sun and the moon T-squares Jupiter. So now T-square is more intense than just the normal square. So this is really, really hard aspects, and these are things that are going to be coming up. So, which is going to be putting a lot of pressure on this full moon. And that actually went into what I was going to say with Pisces as well, because Pisces, is we have to be careful not to indulge in too much alcohol, because Pisces is very ruled by that as well. So that's one of the shadow sides of Pisces as well. This is going to be a test of faith, though. So this T-squaring Jupiter, because again, it's a planet of expansion and it's the sun and the moon. So it's our outward environment and it's our inward environment. So it's all to do with that, and that's why it is going to be a test of faith in regards to greed. So any overspending or being wasteful. So that's the bad thing with Jupiter, is that you have this thing of, you know, just, you know, taking whatever you need and then just throwing out the rest, and that really wasteful type of energy that comes out, and being very greedy. Also the excess as well. So food, alcohol, drugs, gambling, that kind of thing, and immorality, so disloyalty or scandal. So things like that are going to be coming up. So this is what this moon is going to be bringing up a lot of, especially during that T-squaring Jupiter. So people are going to be rather compelled to, you know, act in, take part in those kind of acts. And Saturn squares Uranus, which may bring unexpected restrictive changes. And I'd already written this a couple of days ago, actually, in my notes. I've started writing it down, and I was saying query prolonged pandemic, but it's already, we've just been announced today that we've had a few more cases now in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. So yeah, we didn't have any cases, and yes, that's what's exactly seeming to be happening. So this kind of an moon as well does bring about constrictions as well, especially with Saturn squaring Uranus, which is unexpected, which is kind of expected though. We kind of knew it would have to do with the pandemic. Anyway, Saturn sextiles Chiron, which is a really nice aspect. which continues the healing process within ourselves. So Chiron has had a big part in this, and especially with it being in Sagittarius, it is the centaur as well, which is the truth seeker, and also the healer as well. So he is the sage. So in this card, I like this card a lot because, yeah, you can actually see it does actually look very much like Chiron. So the Sagittarius. So it's Sagittarius, I see. So that's what the main mantra is as well, that it is seeing and knowing as well, and using your intuition as well, because it is Sagittarius are very intuitive as well. So Chiron has played a huge part, especially in the last couple of years anyway, with the pandemic and everything else that's been going on, and he's going to be very prevalent during this super full moon. So, which I find interesting because the first time Chiron, he's actually going to be in Aries, which is like, yeah, one of his home signs. Well, a sign actually was when he was first discovered in 1977. So this is thereby highlighting new ways of healing and health, which are going to be coming into the forefront as well. So that's something that I am seeing. So some of the things that we need to take away from it. So 5, because it's happening at 5 degrees, as well, my interpretation of the number of 5 is it's challenges or conflict. There's also 5 squares, 5 squares. So I see this eclipse as removing situations that you are no longer in alignment with. So make sure that you're always vibrating at a higher level. So I really do feel that anything that is just you're not vibrating at that level with is going to be taken away. So it is a great time to release and forgive. Any like cord cuttings is very, very effective now. You can have a look on YouTube. If you just pop that on there, you'll come up with a lot of people that will walk you through a cord cutting ceremony, and it is quite good energetically as well, and to clear out all your other bodies as well, and yeah, just so you can forgive yourself as well and move on. And what new intentions that you actually set at last year, the new moon in Sagittarius, December 2020, you'll actually see what intentions that you set at that new moon will be manifesting now. So it's a good time to take stock as well and see what came through, what didn't come through, or maybe it wasn't how you expected. I mean, it usually does work that way anyway. Nothing really works out exactly as we plan it. And seeing how we can help tweak our setting intentions in order to make our manifestations more accurate in our eyes, I guess. To use clear and concise communication to prevent misunderstandings. Really, really important with communication for the next few weeks. So this energy as well with eclipses, this eclipse energy can last for the next 6 months as well. So it's not just for the next couple of weeks. But have fun and don't overdo it. So, all right, let's have a look and see what the cards actually have to say for us. Okay, so our underlying energy is the hanged one, or the hanging man. So that is that pause time. And as we can see with most of the planets starting to retrograde or station as well. So as we know, Mercury is stationed at the moment. So this is really giving us an opportunity to take time and pause. Okay, because like I said, this is going to be pretty full on. So as we can see, so in the near past, in the near past, we got the Knight of Cups. So obviously there is something that I feel that was coming in, and it has to do with love, obviously. So these are going to do with relationships, also to do with self-love as well. That's kind of what I'm kind of seeing, and the cycles as well there. These cards are really, they're just got so much symbolism in there. So I'm seeing obviously the cup. So it's a cup of love that I think the major theme has been for that. Are we getting enough love? Are we receiving enough love? You know, is it that equal kind of give and take? So that's that Knight of Cups coming in with that offerings of love. Are you offering love as well, especially to yourself? So we've also then got the Queen of Cups. So this is a lot of cup energy. We haven't seen a lot of cup energy for a couple of weeks, which is actually quite nice. So this one again is holding on to your emotions, and in the original tarot, she's got the lid on it. It's the Holy Grail, and what she's got inside is obviously her emotions. So she's trying to contain her emotions. It is a very feminine energy, obviously, as well, but and also in the original one, like it's kind of very distorted waters. It's very choppy waters as well there. So she's not really, she's trying to control it and contain it more than anything. So these, I feel, are going to, is talking about emotions that we have been repressing for a very long time. And as you know, with the last few lunations that have been coming up, has been all about releasing all those old emotions that we have stuck down deep down inside us and haven't even wanted to deal with. This is the time now that we need to be dealing with it so that we can release and heal it. And then we've got the Eight of Wands. So this is obviously something to do with communication as well. And like I said, Mercury being in his sign of Gemini, it is, and it's stationary, and we know in stationary it's very powerful. So all these planets being in their home signs, being in a stationary position, and being at the degrees that they are, is all placing them in very, very powerful positions, so that we are going to be able to feel that. And that's what I feel that we're doing there as well, that we're reflecting on past communication to do with love and relationships, and we're reflecting on that. So in the present moment, I see the Two of Pentacles. So this is a head over heart decision that we need to be making. And the overall energy, which I think is just absolutely beautiful, is the World. So this is talking about coming into a new cycle. The next card we've got is the Six of Wands. So this is being victorious in whatever passionate projects or anything that we decide to take place in. It's coming back from the battle. It's being victorious. It's being acknowledged as well for any hard work that you've done. So usually it is something that you're very passionate about doing, so it doesn't even feel like it's work, but yet you're getting recognition for it, which is fantastic, and that is in this moment now. So in the future, we've got the Ace of Cups, which I have not, like I said, I haven't seen these many cups in such a long time. It's just beautiful. So this is really the beginning of new ideas. This is what I'm thinking, new beliefs, because it's all about Sagittarius and changing our beliefs as well. And I did actually have that written down, but I didn't actually hone in on it, because I was like, well, if you're a Sag like me, opposite is Gemini, and Gemini is in the house of, you know, like relationships and stuff. So even though it's not in my 7th house, it's in my 1st house. So what that's telling me to do is to focus on myself. So it's making those kind of decisions, and then being able to come up with your own new beliefs that better serve you and better love you yourself, so that you are your, you know, highest, you're at your highest vibration, and you're on your own destiny. And that's furthered by strength, which again is really being drawn by the infinity symbols. This is something that is going to be lasting. So it's drawing on that Leo strength. So that's beautiful. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. Again, I think that's coming back to here, like trying not to be too much in your head. And that's what swords are all about. It's being stuck in your head. It's being bound up. It's being blinded and not being able to see the things. It's that overthinking. Once you get into that overthinking, it kind of clouds and distorts your thinking. And you need to be like the eagle and look at it from a bigger point of view. So that, again, I see. So to be able to see the bigger picture and not just focus in on and see just one point of it, because you don't see the whole picture when you do that, and you're not getting all the information that you need. Again, that's what I feel. What I said with what all the aspects mean is that yes, we are going to be bombarded with a whole lot of new information, but it might not be the actual information that we need at the time to be able to make decisions. Therefore, we need to rely on ourselves to go inward and see what old beliefs that we need to discard and or maybe reform, try and transform in some kind of way to better our purpose. And we've got blossoming, so oh my gosh, and it's flower moon. That's amazing. So that's a 33, which is a angel card. So yes, I can see that things are going to be blossoming. So, you know, obviously you need to get rid of the old so that you can make way for the new, and that's what I can really see. So it's like when you weed the garden and, you know, you get rid of all the weeds, and then, yep, then you've got more space to be able to grow beautiful things that are going to actually benefit you more, like, you know, vegetables and stuff so you can eat them, or, you know, or flowers, which are really beautiful, which is a lot better than just having the weeds there that were taking up that space before. So that's what I'm really seeing with that card, and it's beautiful. I just love how it's the flower moon, so it's very appropriate for everybody in the northern hemisphere. Oh, and that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. So bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. So that's what that is saying. So even though it's a new moon energy, but it was saying to use love, because Venus is still playing a big part as well. So she is there, and she is a reminder as well that we do need to use our communication with love and compassion. It is going to be trying because, like I said, with these hard aspects, people are going to be triggered, and things will pop off. So anyway, with that, I hope you have a beautiful super full blood moon. I hope you get an opportunity to go and see it yourself, and I hope you get to perform some rituals, because it will be particularly potent during this time. So and with that, so just remember that you are a star, and let your light shine bright, and as always, love and light.